It's a warm welcome. I'm your host, Molo Collins, and of course, this is Sport TV, your number one leading sports channel. And yes, we are in the quarterfinals of the most prestigious competition in the history of European football, and it is the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, pitting Arsenal against Real Madrid, a match which will take place at the famous Emirates Stadium for the first leg of this competition. Remember, Arsenal has never won this competition in their history. The closest they've ever was in 2006 when they reached the finals, which Barcelona won by 2-1. On the other side, it's a very different script from Real Madrid, who have managed to win this competition a record 15 times in their history. And the last time that Real Madrid was in the finals was last season, when they managed to beat Dortmund in the two finals by 2-0. Well, Arteta will be taking charge of this Arsenal side, which will be going against Carlo Ancelotti coach side. Well, we are going to get down and see the factors that may lead to this game to know who is going to come out victors in this first leg of this European competition. Before we move on, remember to view, like, subscribe and share, and you can also drop a comment on the comment section down below. Let's get interactive across all social media platforms, and on Facebook I'm at Molo Collins. Well, several matches will be on card in these quarterfinals, and the one that we are going to zero in is this crucial match pitting Arsenal against Real Madrid. Of course, Mikel Arteta against Carlo Ancelotti. Well, this match is going to take place at the famous Emirates Stadium. This is the home ground of Arsenal, and of course, the first leg will take place in England. Well, we are going to see which team is going to have a good match heading into this match. Well, let's go and look at the formation heading to this match. I will see that Arsenal like to play that possession kind of football, keeping the ball all the time, compared to Real Madrid, which mostly uses a counter-attacking kind of football with so many pacey players with the likes of Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and of course they also have Rodrigo and of course Jude Bellingham in that middle of the pack. On the other side, Arsenal also have very pacey players who Mikel Arteta can rely on, and the one that will be making a comeback into this Arsenal setup, of course, has to be Bukayo Saka, who has been out for a number of weeks through an injury. Well, coming this match, let's go and see which players are in form, and maybe they may decide this match when the two teams manage to meet, of course, in this very important, crucial fixture. And we are starting, of course, with, Real Madrid. They have Vinicius Jr., who many tipped him to go all ahead and win that Ballon d'Or last season, but of course that did not happen, and Rodri managed to pip him for that award. Well, Vinicius Jr. so far is not having a very good season so far, having had 10 goals and a return of 7 assists in this season of 2024-2025. This is in all competition compared to last season. Well, there's also a Jude Bellingham, who has managed to lit up La Liga and European competition once again after joining from Borussia Dortmund last season, and Jude Bellingham has 13 goals and a return of 14 assists. A very good return for Jude Bellingham. And another player that is, of course, is going to cause havoc in that Arsenal defense has to be Rodrigo, the Brazilian, who is having a very quiet season but a decent one. Those are the players that are going to decide this match for Real Madrid, going by form, number of goals, and of course assists. And well, on the other side, we're having Bukayo Saka for Arsenal, who is making a return after being out for a few weeks out injured. And Bukayo Saka so far has 5 goals and a return of 11 assists in that Arsenal setup. And of course, the skipper, that is Martin Odegaard, whose season also has been hampered by injuries, and he has had a good return of 5 goals and 11 assists. Another player to watch out, of course, for Arsenal has to be Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian, who has not been really on form or on song for Arsenal this season, and his form has really dipped. And if Mikel Arteta may rely on him to try and get a point for this crucial match against Real Madrid, then I think that this time round Gabriel Martinelli has to turn up for him to be counted in those crosses, goals and assists for Bukayo Saka. Does Arsenal really have an advantage, being the first leg is being played at their home turf, that is the Emirates Stadium? Well, this is a very good match, and in this match I may say there's no real home advantage, because these two teams have experience to play both home and away. And remember, Real Madrid has never defeated Arsenal in the history of football. The number of times that they've met, Real Madrid has never defeated Arsenal. So Mikel Arteta will be banking on that result to try and go against all and bundle Real Madrid out of this competition. Remember when the group stages started and the table, Arsenal were in red hot form, finishing in that top 3 spot, and Real Madrid managed just to scrape through to make it into the last 16 and now they are in the last 8 of this year's elite competition. Well, as you know, Champions League is the most prestigious trophy in the history of European competition, not only in numbers, but also the prize money that is being always rewarded for the winner. Of course, the ones who have made it to the quarterfinal, the semifinals, and finally the eventual winner managed to get a very good package heading home. And these years will not be an exception. And Arsenal so far has already pocketed more than 100 million euros just for reaching the quarterfinals of this year's elite competition. Well, it's going to be a midfield battle between the likes of Thomas Partey, of course, Declan Rice, and of course between the likes of the very experienced, the evergreen Luka Modric in the middle of the pack. And in that midfield is going to be a very high-octane match, very pacey one. Tackles will be flying left, right, and center. And I think that the team that is going to settle, especially faster in the middle of that pack, is going to have a good say heading forward into this match. The team that is going to have the proceedings in controlling that midfield, I think, will have an edge over the other side. And it's going to be either Thomas Partey against Luka Modric, Tuchumi, or Camavinga in that middle of the pack. And of course, Declan Rice against Valverde, Odegaard against Bellingham. And I think Real Madrid has been very experienced in this competition. In fact, some of you may call this Champions League as Real Madrid competition, because so far they are the most successful team in the history of this competition, and Arsenal will be trying to go all against the odds and trying to cause an upset and maybe get Real Madrid out of this competition. Well, tactics are going to fall into place into this match, and will Mikel Arteta continue playing that good brand of football, tiki-taka kind of football, short passes and long passes, and maybe trying to bypass that midfield to get to the likes of maybe Merino? And one disadvantage that Arsenal has at the moment is that they don't have an out-and-out striker, keeping in mind that Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are both injured, making him to rely on not very experienced 17-year-old Nwaneri, and of course Mikel Merino, who is not an out-and-out striker. And will Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti coach side take advantage of that, keeping in mind that Arsenal at the moment don't have a danger man? Bukayo Saka, yeah, is making a comeback into this team, but is he really fit to take a part in this all 90 minutes in this first leg of this UEFA Champions League? To me, I think that Bukayo Saka will be much fitter maybe in the next second leg, when the match will take a return leg, which of course will be played in the famous Santiago Bernabeu. Well, as I said earlier, Arsenal last played in the finals of this UEFA Champions League in 2006. That is way back, and Real Madrid is used to be playing in this kind of matches. So Ancelotti against Mikel Arteta, will tactics really follow through in this match, or maybe it will be a match which will be won on a brief individual brilliance, and both teams have the player to hurt each other. And of course, Real Madrid has an upper hand coming to this match playing against Arsenal. Remember that in La Liga, Real Madrid is patched in that second position, and Arsenal also in the EPL is patched in that second position. Real Madrid behind Barcelona by only 3 points, and Arsenal has a mountain to climb also in the English Premier League, because Liverpool has opened a gap of over 8 points in the English Premier League. Well, let's wait and see how things are going to pan out between these two great teams, which has rich history in the world of football, in the European competition, because Mikel Arteta against Carlo Ancelotti, the very experienced Italian who has done it for a number of clubs. Remember that he has also won this competition with AC Milan, and he has done it for a number of years for Real Madrid. Remember to give me your thoughts and prediction. Which team is going to come out victor in this match? And I'll be sure to sample some of our views and thoughts as we also keep tabs on the rest of the matches that will be taking place in the UEFA Champions League. I'm your host, Molo Collins. Let's do this again next time when we meet. Remember to view, like, subscribe, and share.